History has customs that are too strange to talk about openly. What looked like betrayal and shame actually saved entire tribes from bloodshed. These rituals didn't involve warriors or elders. Women played the key role. At night, they did something that seems impossible today. And this very act was considered sacred, transforming enemies into allies by morning. What was this ritual? Why did men agree to something that would shock a modern person? And why did women willingly participate in what outsiders would see as betrayal? The custom I'm about to tell you breaks all conventional ideas about morality, but it's exactly what kept peoples from extinction. Stay till the end and you'll learn what ritual was considered the highest form of trust for centuries. The heat in Namibia doesn't let up day or night. The red earth cracks from the scorching temperatures that can hit 95 degrees F. Sparse bushes cling to life, and the wind carries sand like it wants to erase everything living. It's here in southwestern Africa that the Herero people live. They're easy to recognize by their bright clothes. Women wear long dresses with wide sleeves and special-shaped headdresses, while men strictly honor ancestral traditions, passing them down from generation to generation. The Herero lived for centuries in conditions where any mistake could cost the entire herd and therefore the life of the clan. Here, among the heat and scarce water, customs arose that seemed strange to outsiders, sometimes frightening. But for the Herero themselves, these were the key to survival, protection from discord, and a way to preserve tribal unity. In the evening, the tribe gathered together. Men returned from wandering. Women finished their preparations. But this day looked different. Faces were serious. Children sat quieter than usual. Even conversations sounded more restrained. Everyone knew tonight there would be a ritual. Not a celebration, not festivities. This was a rare ceremony that the fate of the clan depended on. The elders sat in the center. They formed a circle and began to speak. Their words were calm, but each one sounded like law. They reminded everyone, this custom has been preserved since ancient times. It's stronger than hatred. It prevents collapse. No one dared break its order. And the longer the elder spoke, the more the feeling grew that today everyone would witness an event that would change the tribe. Women prepared for the night with special care. They were bathed, their hair braided, adorned with the finest jewelry, sometimes painted with patterns of ash and ochre on their bodies. All this was done not for beauty, but as a sign. They would become the peacemakers tonight. Their consent was considered necessary. Without it, the ritual had no power. The women understood. Their steps in the night would mean more than men's words in the day. Meanwhile, men exchanged gifts. The finest horses, hides, food, weapons, all of this was given to neighbors. Generosity showed. We're ready to share the most valuable. But everyone understood, gifts were just the beginning. The main event waited ahead in the darkness. The closer night came, the more tense the waiting became. People ate and drank little, stayed silent more than they spoke. No one joked, no one laughed. It was as if the entire tribe breathed in unison, preparing for one moment. Even the fire they gathered around seemed special, not for warmth and light, but to witness what was happening. When the desert and plains plunged into darkness, the tension became almost tangible. The crowd froze. Even children, not understanding the essence, felt something was about to happen that would change the future. An elder rose and gave a signal. It became so quiet you could hear the coals crackling, the sand rustling. The women stood up. They stepped forward slowly, with dignity, as if each carried the fate of the entire clan on her shoulders. Their steps were accompanied by men's gazes. In these looks was everything: anxiety, respect, pride, and fear. No one spoke aloud, but everyone understood the moment was arriving that outsiders always whispered about as madness. What happened next occurred as it had for centuries. Men gave their most precious to enemies, and they themselves accepted foreign women into their tents. This happened openly, before everyone's eyes. No one tried to hide or cover up what was happening, because secrecy had no power here. Power was in everyone seeing. To a modern person, this seems unthinkable. But for those peoples, this was the highest degree of trust. A man showed, "I'm not afraid to share with you even what is usually hidden." The woman became a bridge through which two clans turned into one whole. The night belonged to them. In the tents, lights were extinguished, leaving only breathing and footsteps. But the real climax came in the morning. Women came out first. They were met with respect and honor. Sometimes they were brought treats or blankets, as if confirming their special status. Then everyone sat around the pot, ate from the same food, drank from the same cup. From this moment, it was considered they have one life and one destiny. And long after the ritual, this unity was felt in everything. Men more often exchanged gifts. Women from both sides felt like sisters, and any disputes were resolved quieter and faster. Because everyone knew the tribes were already connected by a night that couldn't be forgotten. Women who participated in the ritual received special status. Their word was respected. They couldn't be humiliated or offended, because they once became the symbol of alliance. Sometimes they stopped conflicts faster than chiefs, and as long as they lived, their names were always spoken with caution and reverence. To a modern person, this custom might seem wild, but in harsh Namibia, it was wisdom. It was a way to stop hostility without a sword. That's why a night spent in a stranger's tent became not a secret and not betrayal, but an oath. An oath that tomorrow they would be not enemies, but brothers.